Gather around the fire, children. It's story time with Uncle Moon Lambo. Let me ask you, are you flipping out right now? Because I have data that indicates that a lot of people are very, very scared. Now, I personally am not very, very scared. Everything's fine as far as I'm concerned, because markets in crypto specifically are extremely volatile, and we have had a massive pullback. And even within the last hour from recording this, markets are just dipping further and further and further. And so I see on social media people losing their ever-loving minds. I have actual data indicating that people are losing their ever-loving minds. And so I want to say a few words about this and share with you opinions from at least a few chart analysts within this video that hopefully will soothe your mind a little bit. Now, I do want to be clear, I don't have a financial background of any kind, and I am not offering financial advice. And so you should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who enjoys making YouTube videos as a fun hobby about Ripple and XRP and crypto, but that's all that's going on here. So to be super duper clear here, if you want out of the market, if this is too much, go on and do it. I'm not telling you not to. I'm just sharing you my opinion because that is not at all the way that I'm leaning here. But I certainly sympathize with anybody that's feeling tremendously scared at this point. See, putting money into something and then see it drop relative to where it was just a short bit ago, not a fun feeling. So I do sympathize, but this is one hell of a shakeout. So, and as I record this, actually, this is for frame of reference because things are moving so quickly now. It is Friday, May 21st at 10:41 p.m. Central Standard Time. So I live in the good old Midwest of the United States. XRP is at 97 cents. Oh no! Bitcoin's at $36,723. Market cap for the asset class 1.56 trillion. So think about that. Just within the last few weeks, it was at, the market cap was at over 2.5 trillion, down to 1.5 trillion. Not flipping out. I'm not kidding, guys. This does not emotionally hit me, and I will articulate why here. Bitcoin dominance currently at 43.81%. Now think about this, because there have been so many dramatic drops in crypto for the last 12 years, because Bitcoin's been around roughly 12 years. Dramatic drops. This is not the first time we've seen pullbacks like this, by the way, and so if this is your first time experiencing this, and I know there are a lot of people new to the market, completely understandable that you perhaps are having trouble sleeping now, okay? But think about this, just to give you a little perspective, because I've been in the space since November of 2017. I've never sold a single XRP. I've never cashed any real money that I put into crypto. I've actually never converted any of that back out to United States dollars. I do have every intention of cashing out either the vast majority or the entirety of all of my crypto holdings before this market's over. I believe personally we are still in a bull market despite this pullback. Seeing pullbacks like this is expected, it's healthy, it's normal, and it's scary as hell for people that are not used to it. But think about this. The last time we had a huge drop would have been March of last year when the whole C19 scare happened. And my gosh, what a dramatic drop that was. I mean, we saw XRP down to about 11 cents. Depending on the exchange you're looking at, yeah, about 11 cents. You saw Bitcoin get down to, I don't remember exactly. I think it was like 3,800 bucks. I have to go double check, but probably somewhere thereabout. Now, so many people capitulated, so many panic sold at the bottom, and knowing what they know now, do they feel like that was a good move? Well, I'm going to guess with the benefit of hindsight, their answer is no. I'm going to go ahead and guess that. And because even if you were to look at where the prices are now, if you told them a year ago that Bitcoin would be at $36,000 and XRP at 97 cents, they'd be euphoric. Whereas you, being aware of this information, you might be in a panic. Where's the disconnect? It's because it was higher a little bit ago. I understand that. I understand that. But people thought it was the end of the world back then. They were in extreme fear, but ultimately humans do what we know they're going to do because we know how humans behave. They found their way from extreme fear back in March of last year to extreme greed. And when you have a market that ends up in extreme greed, be aware of that. Because typically, whatever the sentiment is in the world of crypto, and really this is true of the stock market as well, whatever the general sentiment is, you know, maybe start to get alarmed if it's too much on the positive side. Maybe that means perhaps it's time to start reducing risk exposure if that's something you're interested in doing. And if things are in extreme fear, if you're in a buying, if you would like to accumulate more, you might view that as a tremendous opportunity, which is why Warren Buffett said, and he was speaking about the stock market, of course, but certainly true of crypto markets, be fearful when others are greedy, and greedy when others are fearful. You know, I like that. Here's another one. Buy when there's blood in the streets, even if it's your own. I like that one too. How about this one? Here's another one. This is from Warren Buffett. The stock market, and this is true of crypto again, the stock market is a mechanism for transferring wealth from the impatient to the patient. And so look, with all the information that we have available, over 100 years of information based with the stock market, you know, 12 years of data within the crypto asset class, we know how humans behave. There is sufficient data, yet people still either don't know that, or even if they do know that, their emotions still get the best of them. And so this is not going to change. Now, I am aware of this, and I don't let that impact me at all. But here, let me share this with you. Because here I was talking about fear and greed. Here's a tweet from Mr. Whale, a crypto chart analyst here. 192,000 followers, right? He knows what he's talking about here, right? And so he wrote, watching the Fear and Greed Index. He's talking about the Bitcoin Fear and Greed Index. The Fear and Greed Index is one of the most powerful tools for analyzing emotions prevalent in the markets. This site should be used prior to opening trades to better understand how the rest of the market is reacting. And so where is it right now? Well, this is the most recent update. You can see on a scale of 0 to 100, we are currently at 12, which indicates extreme fear. Last time we saw this level of extreme fear, it was March of last year, and the people that purchased that fear from the other persons, because that's what it was, the people that sold, they're selling their fear. The people that purchased it, probably euphoric as the prices rose. And so let me share, and I tweeted this out too, and I want to expand upon this, but just I really want you to understand the mindset that I have, because I don't pretend to know exactly where the market's never going to go. I don't know, but I do not believe for a moment that the crypto asset class is going away, which is a key point, as you'll see in just a moment. But here's what I tweeted out just a little over an hour ago. I've not sold a single XRP because the price is not at a level that entices me to do so. Needs to be much higher for me. The price going down is doing the opposite of enticing me to sell, but so many people are choosing to jump ship. To each their own, but emotions don't own me. And so here's the way that I'm looking at this, to be perfectly honest, because I do not believe that we are entering a bear market. I believe that we are still in bull territory. And I feel pretty strongly about that based on the analysis that I've seen from others. And I'm not a chart analyst, so I don't want to pretend to be something or someone that I'm not. But I do believe that for a number of reasons, which I've been articulating in recent days. And I don't really plan to delve as much into that in this particular video. But let's say all that's wrong. Like, let's say the doomsday scenario, it's a coming, like it's here, it's started, and it's really going to completely come to fruition. We're talking doomsday. We are entering bear territory, and we haven't even begun to see the blood in the streets, and the markets are just going to get worse and worse and worse and worse. Oh my gosh, now I'm all panicky. Well, what if that happened? Do you know what I'd do? If you said panic sell, you can just get out of here. All right. No, seriously, here's what would happen. I don't think that's going to happen. I don't want that to happen, but if it does, if this doesn't go the way I suspect that it will, I'm going to hold. The reason being is that the crypto asset class clearly is not going away. And I don't believe that it's going to go down for a moment because, look, we haven't seen all the money cycle through the rest of the altcoins, and I've articulated in recent videos, so I really don't want to go in great detail in this particular video, but I've explained how markets, in market cycles, money flows. It trickles through. It starts at Bitcoin and then goes large caps, mid caps, small caps, and then back up to Bitcoin. Some people cash out, though, and rinse and repeat. And so until you have all of these mid and large cap coins really go parabolic and just rocket off on a chart, you're not How could we possibly be at the end of the bull? I would be shocked if people are suddenly going to behave differently than they did last time, because it's not about fundamentals here. That's not the reason we're seeing understand, with the prices being as low as they are now, having gone down dramatically, nothing's fundamentally changed. What's going on? Well, humans are just being silly humans and speculating, and I'm counting on them behaving like that, because the humans acting like this. I'm so counting on it. I require it for me to make money, because that's what makes volatility possible, and volatility is good. Without volatility, everything stays flat. So given that I am the most stubborn individual when it comes to this, and I refuse to use emotions to determine whether or not I'm going to buy or sell, if there was a world of only moon Lambos, the price of any asset would never move. Okay? It absolutely would not ever move. Because in a world of moon Lambos, nobody makes the emotional decisions. There would be zero volatility. So I want the volatility. I know it's scary when it's to the downside, but my gosh, you get these parabolic rises where people just bid the price of XRP and every asset up eventually. And so even if we're going into bear territory, which I don't expect, fine. That would kind of suck because it wouldn't be as fun, and we haven't seen XRP go up. But I'd still just be like, okay, well, fine, but it's still going to rise at some point in the future. And I mean, we're talking about basically what most would view as a doomsday scenario here, if that happened. And it could be the case, because if you're talking about 4-year market cycles, my gosh, what if we have to wait another 4 years for XRP to go back up? Well, here's the deal. I'm waiting if that happens. So am I going to freak out and lose sleep even if that doomsday scenario happened? No. Because nobody can pry the XRP out of my fingers. The XRP is mine. It will not be forced away from me. It absolutely will not. That is mine. And the only way you're going to convince me to choose to reduce my XRP holdings or eliminate my XRP holdings is if you offer me a substantial enough price that it becomes appealing to me. And we're not there. So if it goes down, you're not enticing me more so to get rid of it, which is the exact opposite way of the way that so many people are looking at this. And that's, I think, too bad, because I suspect, I mean, do what you, if you want to get out, then get out. That's fine. I'm just saying, I suspect you're going to look back in a year or 2 or 3 with the benefit of hindsight and see that the crypto markets are going to continue to go parabolic, and I think you'll have tremendous regret. That would be my guess. That would be my guess, which has always been the case historically. Because here's the thing, like, until I understand this. Let me explain this too, because there's always this idea, like, after each market cycle, we're going to flush out all the crap projects that don't do anything. Now, I do think that as the asset class matures, you're going to see fewer and fewer cryptocurrencies in the space, because you don't need over 8,000 cryptos. You don't need a new form of money for every business idea, right? But that's what we have today. We have over 8,000. So I don't know what the final number will be. I mean, not that it'll ever be an actual final number. If you fast forward a decade or two, probably a lot less than today, I would guess. I don't know what that would be, but we don't know when humans are going to start to value fundamentals differently. And so there are all sorts of people, when we entered the bear territory after the last market cycle, like I think the first half of 2018, there are all sorts of people, some of the most respected people in the space, saying, this is good, finally we can get rid of all the crap coins that don't do anything, because they're never going to come back from this. And I was saying publicly, I was like, whoa, hold on, maybe, but I'm not seeing any evidence of that. Where's your evidence? Because I was just looking at human behavior to that point, and I said, I haven't seen the human behavior change. I haven't seen that. What are you seeing? Because here's the thing. The whole market retraced, like you saw from the peaks of the last market cycle, Bitcoin and XRP, pick your coin, drop 80, some of them 90+%. Some of these crypto, the whole market just tanked 80 to 90+%. And I didn't see the vast majority of the cryptos go to zero. So I was like, where are you guys getting this idea that they're all going to zero? The whole market's still moving in tandem. That was the data that I had. I was like, why am I going to articulate that something else different is happening if I don't have data to indicate something different is happening? Of course I'm not. And so I'm willing to believe that at some point in the future that's going to happen, when it becomes more clear which cryptocurrencies deserve to have staying power. But no, like, I wasn't convinced of that, and I was articulating. I said, I'm not convinced. I was like, in fact, right now, if nothing changes, I would expect that all those coins would eventually pump. And what did we see? Let another couple of years pass, and bam, what do you know? The whole crypto market moved up in tandem again, because people are not sufficiently parsing out the differences between cryptocurrencies. Fine, that is what it is, whether we like it or not, and I actually do kind of like it from an investing perspective, because it makes it a lot easier. Oh, is this one going to go up? Is this one going to go up? I don't know. Oh, wait, I do, because they all go up, right? So it makes it a little bit easier, if you have sufficient patience anyway. And so, even if you're talking about having fear, but what if they all go to zero if we're in the bear market? Oh my God. Well, I don't think so, personally. I reserve the right to change my opinion, because if I do see human behavior changing and people sufficiently parsing out differences between cryptocurrencies during the coming bear market, I'll share that if I actually believe that. I don't know that we're going to have sufficient fundamental changes during this next bear market for that to happen, but we could. I mean, but I'll be watching for that, and if that's the case, then I'll just adjust my investing strategy. But even if that's the case, XRP is still getting used. It's functionally useful. It would be one of the coins, I think, that would have tremendous staying power. So even then, I don't care. But no, you're not going to get me to get shaken out of the market, even if we're entering another bear market that sticks around for years. I'm going to be here running this YouTube channel with a silly-ass name, Moon Lambo, talking about crypto stuff every damn day, because it just interests me that much. I'm weird, fine. But I'm not going away, and I'm not going to sell a damn thing until it makes sense for me to do so. And I just think I feel bad for all of you out there that are letting the emotions get the best of you, and maybe you're not aware of sufficient data. Maybe that would help you too, you know. But you know, the fact that lemmings are jumping one after another off a cliff doesn't mean that it's a good idea to be one of those lemmings following those other ones to their own death. That does not make sense. And so if you want out, you know, just use logic and data and reason to determine that if you want out, and that's fine. I'm just saying don't use emotion to make important financial decisions. That's it. I'm not offering actual financial advice in terms of what to buy or sell or hold, nothing like that. I'm just saying make your own decisions, but not based on emotion, because doing that is stupid. S-T-O-O-P-I-D, stupid, right? And we've all done it before. I don't, though. I mean, when I was brand new, but then once I got sufficient data, which is important to help the feels not get to you, then I stopped. Man, the last time I had an emotional response to a price change was August of 2018. That was it, when XRP was down at 25 cents. Well, what do you know? Here we are in 2021, and oh my God, it's down to 97 cents. Oh no. Come on, guys. The crypto markets are not going to stop going up. And even when, you know, we get to a point where people are parsing out sufficiently differences between cryptos, and some ultimately do go away and get delisted from exchanges as liquidity shrinks up, okay, fine. But we'll be able to observe that in real time as it's occurring. So I'm still not afraid of that. That doesn't freak me out at all. But I do, again, I think it's far more likely that we're still in a bull market. And if we were talking yesterday about how so many analysts said that the bottom's in for crypto, and what do we see is what Bitcoin got up to, what, 42,000, probably, yeah, 41,597 within the last 24 hours. And we were talking about how most analysts said the bottom's in, and now it's at, as I record this now, $37,000. Well, yeah, so we're talking about the bottom when Bitcoin the other day got down to 30,000 and something dollars. If they're right, well, then what we're seeing now is perfectly normal. It just means that Bitcoin's consolidating and range-bound. And so I don't know exactly what the range is going to be, and I'm not a chart analyst, but I don't care. The concept is what matters, understanding that we are in whatever the range is, we're in the range, but the worst is behind us according to so many chart analysts, and I suspect they're correct. Sometimes there's something to like group wisdom. So many people come into that conclusion on their own. I think, well, maybe more likely than not, they're correct, and the bottom actually wasn't. And as someone that is not a chart analyst and doesn't want to learn how to do that, I just like, well, I don't know for sure, but there's enough people saying it. It's reasonable to suspect that may indeed be the case. But even outside of that, it doesn't matter if you just have a bigger time horizon. So this is another reason it's so important to put in risk, invest only what you're willing to actually lose. I think that's, in terms of risk exposure, my gosh, don't put in money you can't afford to lose. But if you are doing that, then what's it matter if you don't have access to it for 6 months or a year or 2 or 3 or 4? You know, because I've been putting in money since 3.5 years ago. And I put in only what I was willing to lose, and it's now worth substantially more than what it was. I mean, it's at a point where, like, even with this, like, this has been life changing. So, and I haven't sold any of it yet, mind you, because I just don't think that we're near the top. XRP hasn't even hit its previous all-time high, so I still think the best is yet ahead here. So I really hope that this is helping to articulate why it doesn't make sense, to let the emotions get the best of you here, and also consider this. Like, if you've been following my channel and watching the videos where I've been talking about price for some time, like over the last, couple months in particular, you may have noticed a lot of the stuff that I was covering from analysts. Like, what were they saying? They were saying that the charts were indicating we were going to need to have a cool down period, and not that they knew exactly when it was going to happen. This isn't sorcery here, But there are strong indications of formations within the charts, which I covered on this channel. But even outside of the chart formations, there were things bubbling among the surface of social media that should have strongly indicated to everyone, and I was talking about this too, as it was happening in real time, that should have indicated, yeah, maybe this is not going to go north from here, and much longer, if at all. Because, you know, even people like me that have no interest in learning how to read charts, I saw indicators like Dogecoin pumping, like Elon Musk on an SNL more recently. How about laser eyes? How about freaking Paris Hilton shilling Bitcoin? How about that? Now, that if that isn't a sign, I don't know what the hell is, damn it. Like, I seriously don't know what the hell is then. And so, look, all this doesn't matter. I know, like, you're talking about Bitcoin going from about $65,000 down to a little over $30,000. So that's over a 50% drop right there. And we're up a little bit from there. But, like, this happens in crypto. From 2015 through the end of 2017, which was bull territory, Bitcoin had 9 drops that averaged 37%. So some higher, some lower. Did it make sense at any of those points in time to actually sell now that we have the benefit of hindsight? The answer is no. There never was a right time to sell. You know, in terms of if you were just betting on whether or not it would go up. If you needed to get out for different reasons, you know, adjust your risk exposure, yeah, I get all that. I'm just saying in terms of if you're betting on whether or not it's going to go up, there never was a time to sell. There never has been a proper time to sell Bitcoin or XRP. There never has been in the history of the asset class if you're just betting on whether or not it goes up. Again, if you're talking about your own individual factors, yeah, of course, it makes sense to sell. Risk exposure, whatever, you know, take some profits, whatever. That's all fine if that's what you want to do. But the market's going to continue to go up, I firmly believe. The best still is yet ahead. I've been through so many of these drops, and I've shared the videos like this in the past during the bear market, and I was saying the same stuff. Even when you had big drops during the bear market, I was like, yeah, look, we're in bear market. It's not going to last forever, and what do you know? I was saying that back when Bitcoin was a few $1,000s and XRP was about 20 cents, and what do you know? Years pass, and Uncle Moon Lambo was right. That's why I said gather around the fire, cheer on a story time, right? So everything is fine. Take a deep breath. All right. And so there was this too. And what got me thinking about this, making a video about this topic, other than obviously with how many people are in fear. I mean, look, a 12 out of 100 on the fear and greed index. I was like, okay, yeah, it's time to talk about this again. There's this tweet from somebody who tags chart analyst Credible Crypto, who now amazingly has 204,000 followers. Well deserved. And this individual has Credible Crypto. Hey, stayed calm yesterday and day before, didn't sell anything. XRP and HBAR is 70% of my portfolio. Getting bit anxious now. Still hodl, question mark? Which, by the way, totally validate that. I understand why people would feel like that. I don't feel like that, but I can understand easily why anybody would. Credible Crypto responded, I can't make that decision for you, but I can tell you I wouldn't sell a single coin here myself. And I don't want to read all of these. I had some other tweets pulled up. It probably doesn't make sense to just read all of them. But here's chart analyst DIY Investing who wrote, there is literally no reason to panic. And so what do you know? All the people that have been trading and been in the markets for a while, they're like, yeah, guys, just like, you know, collect some chill. Like it's mostly the new people. And even if you're not new, like I still understand why emotion can hit you. But man, that's why all I'm trying to do here is help you to like chill out a little bit, remove the emotion, and then make a level-headed decision. If you still want out, well, get out. Yeah, that's fine. I'm not going to judge you. Here's another tweet. This is from chart analyst Kaleo, who has 309,000 followers. And he wrote, looking back on a text I got from a good friend last March when Bitcoin was tanking. It was a rough day, but it was clear nothing changed as far as the importance of Bitcoin and its role as a store of value. Nothing has changed today either. Dips happen. Bitcoin doesn't die. And so that was a tweet from January 4th, 2021. And he retweeted it today. And what was said there, it's still true today. Humans are still... the decision-making process for the humans from 6 months ago and 12 months ago has not changed. It's the same humans. But of course, at some point, people are going to start pulling profit, and then stop losses get hit, and then that cascades down, and then people flip out, and then they manually choose to exit the market. Of course, this is all going to happen. Rinse and repeat, my friends. You've got to understand that's what's really going on here. It doesn't mean there was a shift in the fundamentals. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. So let me know what you think in the comment section below. Hopefully most of you are faring well. For those of you that aren't, again, there's nothing weird about you. You're perfectly normal. You're fine. But I just wanted to reassure you that is normal to feel that. And it doesn't mean the sky is falling. It doesn't mean that it's all going to zero. I think with a sufficient time horizon, the prices that we see today are going to look like a bargain in the future. And that is what I'm betting on. And look, I could be wrong, fine. I always acknowledge that, and that's why investing in crypto is risky, and if I'm wrong, I lose everything, and you do too. But I do have strong conviction, and I'm willing to take that risk. I'll wrap up there. I'm not a financial advisor. Do not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.